Hey guys, this is Kevin of MuscleReview.net, and I wanted to share a little bit about intermittent fasting. This has become my favorite way now to diet and to lose fat. And keep in mind that I've been training with weights for over 20 years now, and I've tried a lot of the different diets that are out there. Previously, my favorite method for losing fat was the low carb or ketogenic approach. And I did, get lean using that method. But now that I've tried intermittent fasting, it's become my favorite method. And before I go any further, let me explain that there's not really one diet that's best for everyone. The bottom line with dieting and losing fat is this: any diet you can do for an extended period of time that puts you on a negative calorie balance is going to, help you lose fat or lose weight. So if you were to tell me that you do a lot better with eating 6 meals a day and that works for you, then great. It doesn't mean you need to switch and try something else. Or if you were to tell me that you do low carb and that works really well for you, then that's fine. There's not really one diet that's right for everyone. But for me, the reason I like intermittent fasting, there's actually a few. One is that if you look at the research, there are some hormonal advantages to going a certain period of time just without eating. And that's one of the reasons I like it. And also, the reason that I like it more than low carb dieting is going zero carbs. For me, sometimes my workouts didn't have very much energy. And then you have what we call the keto breath. You get really bad breath from being in ketosis. And from a really practical standpoint, it's very difficult to do as far as socially. So for example, if you're doing low carb and trying to stay in ketosis and you want to go out on a business dinner with friends or something, or just a friendly dinner, or go out on a date, whatever, it can be really difficult to find low carb choices at restaurants and that kind of thing. So from a practical standpoint, another reason that I like intermittent fasting is you don't have to be obsessed with avoiding carbs at all costs. So those are just a few of my observations. Another thing I'll say about intermittent fasting that has been interesting as I've practiced it is I've noticed that at the front end of this kind of diet, at the front end, when you first start, it's kind of hard to get used to. There's some adjustment involved. But then once you get used to not eating for, let's say, 24 hours, or you get used to not having breakfast every morning. Right now, I really don't eat breakfast that often. You get used to it, and then it's not so hard to comply anymore. Whereas what I found with other dietary methods that I've tried, like let's say 6 meals a day, you start off all enthusiastic about it, and then it just gets tiring having to prepare that much food all the time. So that, for me, that's another advantage of intermittent fasting, is the adjustment comes on the front end, and then once you get used to it, for me anyway, it's kind of just become a routine for me, and it's not so hard to follow. Whereas when I tried other things, for example, low carb, you can do that, but low carb is was hard for me to do for an extended period of time. So those are just a few of my thoughts on intermittent fasting. And if you'll click the link below, you'll see a little bit more of my thoughts on that and some of the programs that have helped me understand this method better. So if you'll just click the link below, there'll be more information.